We end Sefer Vayikra this week, and I believe that in the end of the portion there is in general, there's a very important message for everybody, but especially for us right now as we're going through the coronavirus epidemic. Throughout the Sefer Vayikra, we've been talking about Kodesh and Kodesh again and again, and here we are in Parshas Behar, where we talk about the idea of Shemitah and the idea of Yovel, and suddenly the word Kodesh is not found too often. Very interesting, the word Kodesh is not found at all in regard to the question of Shemitah. The word Kodesh is only found in regard to the question of Yovel. And I'd like to focus on the difference between the Shemitah and the Yovel, and hopefully we'll understand and be able to take out the appropriate message. There's a perspective from the Supporno and the Ben Ezra that in Israel, as the University of Arizona has done the research and found that when you're living in a dry climate, it is extremely important to follow the fallow crop policy. What is the fallow crop policy? Is that since your fields are dry and the nutrients are not that available, or the water table needs time to come back up, it's important to alternate your fields. And to be able to use your fields 1 year, take a break, maybe use for 3 years, take a break, but you shouldn't plant crops year in, year out, especially in a dry environment. For those of us who have been to Israel recently, we know it's a dry environment. We know about how much, till very recently, the Kinneret was drying up, the Yam HaMelech was drying up. It's a very dry environment. And the supporter of Ibn Ezra both comment that when the Torah says Sheishes Shonim, that 6 years you shall plant, that is a bracha from Hashem. That you do not have to follow the fallow crop policy of alternating, but 6 years, because this is Hashem's land, and because you are committed to Shemitah, 6 years you shall plant. And for those 6 years you will have plenty of produce, which will give you the ability to take the 7th year off. No different than Shabbos, that 6 days you shall work, and you'll have enough from the 6 days to be able to take off Shabbos. That's the idea of Shemitah, similar to Shabbos. But Yovel, very different. Yovel, the Torah tells us, it's a time of Kedusha. It is a time of responsibility for the Jewish people to announce Yovel. The Shemitah happens independent. Just like Shabbos is totally independent, so too is Shemitah independent. Every 7 years it's Shemitah. Yovel only happens if Bezdin blows the shofar, and the Jews willingly give back all the farms to the people they bought for within the last 50 years, and if they let all the slaves free to go back to their family. Yovel needs the involvement of the Jewish people to understand and appreciate the specialness of giving back the land and giving the people back the opportunity to go to their family. Shemitah is like Shabbos. Take a day off, a year off, try to build your relationship with the Creator, and the Creator responds by telling you that if you follow my words properly and you listen to what I'm saying, you will have plenty to eat. He tells you, you think that you're the greatest businessman, you're going to figure out how to make it every year. There it says, every 7th year, let it be. Chill. Don't get so involved in crop. Don't worry so much about your parnasa. You think that you have to be on top of everybody, you have to control everybody, you're the one who knows how to take advantage of everybody. Torah says, Shemitah, let it be. You can't even collect your debts. Because let it be. Hashem is involved in the world, not do you have to be in control of everything. 7 times in a row. First 7 years, then you count another 7 and another 7 till you get 7 cycles of 7. 49 years of living that style of life, of letting it be. Then you can reach the point, the Torah is telling us, that you can have a value. You can appreciate the value of every Jew, and you can appreciate the fact that he has to be independent. That it's not your job to control him. We all would love to control our source of livelihood. We like to control our source of information. We like to know everything. The idea of Shemitah and Yovel is let it be. There is a creator in the world. You'll work it out. You don't need to control the human beings. You don't need to control your land. There's a lot of opportunities to make money. As the famous saying goes, there's no crisis that's not a great opportunity to make money. Opportunities to make money are available all the time. You have to be wise enough. And you have to have the gift of Hashem. The message of the Sefer Vayikra is that the Kedusha, that all of this is the goal, is to understand that every Jew is important and that every Jew's independence and self-worth is important. In Yovel, they tell us 2 averos, lo tonu. 1, you should not cheat anybody out of his property. That's one avera. In a year, when you buy somebody's land, you have to make sure that the deal is strictly legal, 100% legit. Number 2 is don't insult another person. Don't make him feel less than he really is. Those are 2 examples that we've been talking about the whole time. It's important to let each person understand that he's important, and each person understand that his relationship with his livelihood and his field has to be at the most honest and most down to earth. So my message is that we should take advantage of this. Let it be. Stop worrying about the coronavirus. Let it be. Stop listening to the news reports. They don't give any definitive information. It changes all the time. Let it be. Spend your time. Take advantage of this gift. As my wife says, if anybody would think about it, if time is money, then we've all won a lottery. We don't have to commute anymore. Davening does not take 45 minutes. Because there's no shots, there's no kaddish. We've ended up with a gift of time. Use the time and invest it in our children. Invest it in our spouses. Invest in our relationships. Let the coronavirus, let it be. Don't worry about it. They're going to come up with a cure if you know nothing about it, if you get involved. Let it be. Spend your time understanding how important your children are, how important your spouse is, and how important it is to understand the Torah, that you can be able to take advantage of it. Please come to classes. Please call up Rabbi Ben-Chorin. I'm available to learn with anybody who wants to learn. We can work it out for everybody, but it has to come from you. You have to want to do it. So let the coronavirus be. God willing, Hashem will send us the refuah, the wisdom for the doctors to get the refuah as quickly as possible, but let us take advantage of it and bring the Kedusha, which comes through the study of Torah, through the appreciation of what every Jew is, and we shall be able to get ready for the Yom Tov of Shavuos.